The Galactic Council had been watching Earth for nearly 200 years. They observed quietly from the dark spaces between stars, recording every broadcast, every satellite launch, and every nuclear test. The humans were violent creatures. They fought among themselves constantly. They poisoned their own planet. They seemed incapable of lasting peace. And yet somehow they kept surviving. High Counselor Axe of the Dominion Assembly stood before the gathered representatives of 47 species. His gray skin reflected the cold light of the council chamber as he pointed toward a small blue dot on the holographic display. "Earth," he announced, his voice echoing through the massive hall. "The time has come to deal with this problem before it spreads beyond their solar system." The representatives murmured in agreement. They had seen this before. Young species reaching for the stars too quickly, too violently. The protocol was always the same: strike fast, strike hard, leave no survivors. It was cleaner that way. Kinder, even. Better to end a dangerous species before they could threaten established civilizations. "The humans have developed faster than light travel," Axe continued. "Our scouts detected their first successful jump 3 cycles ago. They will reach neighboring systems within a decade. We cannot allow a species this aggressive to spread among the stars." Admiral Al of the Dominion Fleet stepped forward. He was a massive creature standing nearly 3 meters tall, covered in thick armor like scales. His species had conquered dozens of worlds. They had never lost a war. "My fleet stands ready," he declared proudly. "We have assembled 5,000 warships. The humans have nothing that can challenge us. Their largest vessels are crude transport ships barely capable of carrying 100 soldiers. This will not be a battle. It will be an extermination." The council voted unanimously in favor of the invasion. Earth would be destroyed. Humanity would be erased from existence. It was simply the natural order of things. The strong survived. The weak perished. And in the eyes of the Galactic Council, humans were nothing more than dangerous animals that needed to be put down. The Dominion fleet departed 3 days later, 5,000 ships carrying 2 million soldiers. They crossed the vast emptiness of space with casual confidence. They had done this many times before. They knew exactly how it would end. There would be some resistance, of course. Young species always fought back at first, but their primitive weapons would be useless against Dominion shields. Their soldiers would fall before Dominion warriors, and within weeks, Earth would be nothing but ash and memory. The fleet emerged from hyperspace just beyond the orbit of Mars. Admiral Al stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion, and looked toward the small blue planet in the distance. It was beautiful, he had to admit, rich with water and life. Such a waste that its inhabitants had proven themselves unworthy of survival. "Scan the system," he ordered. "Locate their military assets." His sensors officer worked quickly, then paused, then worked again, then stopped completely, his face growing pale. "Admiral," he said slowly, "I am detecting anomalies." "What kind of anomalies?" "Multiple contacts, Admiral. Thousands of them, scattered throughout the asteroid belt, hidden among the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, positioned in the shadows of every major body in this system." Admiral Al felt a cold sensation creep down his spine. "How many contacts exactly?" The officer swallowed hard. "Approximately 12,000 vessels, Admiral, all armed, all powered up, all waiting." Before Al could respond, his communication system activated. A human face appeared on the main display. It was a woman with short dark hair and cold gray eyes. She wore a military uniform covered in medals and insignia. Her expression showed no fear whatsoever. "This is Admiral Sarah of the United Earth Defense Force," she announced calmly. "Welcome to our solar system. We have been expecting you." Forced himself to maintain composure. "You are outnumbered," he declared, though his voice lacked conviction. "You cannot hope to defeat the Dominion fleet." Admiral smiled. It was not a friendly smile. "Outnumbered? Admiral, you misunderstand the situation. Those 12,000 ships are not our fleet. They are merely our border patrol." The display changed, showing new sensor data. Deep within the asteroid belt, massive structures began to power up. Weapons platforms the size of small moons, factory ships capable of producing dozens of warships per day, and emerging from hidden bases throughout the outer system, more vessels, many more vessels. Our actual fleet consists of approximately 50,000 combat-ready warships, Admiral continued. We also have 300 orbital defense platforms, each capable of destroying 100 vessels before requiring rearmament. And somewhere in this system, hidden in a location you will never find, we have 47 Planet Cracker missiles, each one capable of shattering a world. The bridge of the Eternal Dominion had fallen completely silent. Every officer stood frozen, staring at the displays showing the impossible military might of a species that was supposed to be primitive. How? Al managed to ask. We have watched you for centuries. You had nothing, no fleet, no weapons beyond your crude nuclear devices. You watched us fight each other, Admiral replied. You watched us compete and struggle and kill. You saw violence and assumed weakness. That was your mistake. She leaned forward, her eyes burning with cold intensity. Everything you saw was real. We did fight each other. We did poison our world. We did commit countless acts of cruelty. But what you failed to understand is that those same traits that horrified you also made us strong. Our violence taught us warfare on a level you cannot comprehend. While your species lived in peace we spent every generation perfecting the art of killing. Every weapon you see before you was born from 10,000 years of endless conflict. Every strategy we employ was written in the blood of our own people. Our pollution proved that we could adapt to anything. We breathed poisoned air. We drank contaminated water. We survived in conditions that would kill most species. And when we realized we were destroying ourselves, we developed technologies to fix what we had broken. We learned to terraform, to cleanse, to rebuild, skills that will serve us well as we spread across the galaxy. And our cruelty, Admiral paused. Our capacity for cruelty means that if you threaten our home, our families, our children, we will respond with such devastating force that the memory of it will echo through your civilization for 10,000 generations. She stood back, crossing her arms. So here is my message to the Galactic Council. We know you have been watching us. We know you consider us dangerous. And we know you came here today expecting to find easy prey. Instead, you found humanity. Go home. Tell your masters what you have seen. Tell them that Earth is not a target. It is a warning. Any species that threatens us, any fleet that enters our space with hostile intent, any civilization that plots our destruction will discover the true meaning of human warfare. We did not survive 10,000 years of killing each other just to be wiped out by aliens who thought they were superior. We are not afraid of extinction. We have stared into that abyss many times and always pulled ourselves back. We are not afraid of war. War is what we do best. But we are also capable of peace. We are capable of friendship. We are capable of becoming the greatest allies this galaxy has ever known. The choice is yours. Admiral's eyes narrowed. But choose carefully. Because if you choose wrong, if you force us to fight, we will not stop at defending ourselves. We will hunt you across every star system. We will burn your fleets. We will crack your worlds. We will salt your fields and poison your waters and teach your children to fear the darkness between stars. And when the last of your species huddles in the ruins of their final city, waiting for the end, they will remember this moment. They will remember that we offered you a choice, and they will curse you for choosing poorly. The transmission ended. Admiral Al stood motionless for a long time. Around him, his officers waited in terrified silence. Finally, he spoke. Turn the fleet around. We are returning to Council space. But Admiral, his second-in-command, protested weakly. The Council ordered. The Council, Al interrupted, did not know what they were sending us to face. I will not sacrifice 2 million soldiers for their ignorance. He looked at the blue planet one last time. The humans are not prey. They are predators, and I have no intention of being their first meal." The Dominion fleet retreated. 5,000 ships that had arrived expecting conquest now fled in careful disorder. They jumped to hyperspace and did not look back. When Admiral Al delivered his report to the Galactic Council, the chamber fell into chaos. Some representatives demanded immediate retaliation. Others called for the destruction of the human using planet-cracking weapons. A few suggested negotiation. But it was High Counselor Axe who finally silenced them all. "We underestimated them," he admitted. "We saw what we wanted to see, a violent species destroying itself. We never imagined that same violence could be turned outward with such devastating efficiency." He looked around the chamber at the frightened faces of 47 species. "We have two choices. We can attempt to destroy them now, before they grow stronger. We can throw everything we have at their system and hope that our numbers are enough to overcome their defenses. Or," he continued slowly, "we can accept their offer. We can welcome them as equals. We can make them our allies rather than our enemies." "And if we choose wrong?" someone asked. Axe shuddered. "Then we will learn firsthand why Earth's history is written in blood, and our own history will end." The council voted again. This time the decision was not unanimous. Some still wanted war, but the majority chose peace. Not because they believed humans were trustworthy, not because they wanted human friendship, but because they were afraid of what would happen if they chose otherwise. 3 months later, humanity received its first official diplomatic delegation from the Galactic Council. The beginning of a new era had arrived. Earth had transformed from a target into a power that the entire galaxy now respected. And deep in the archives of every spacefaring civilization, the message from Admiral Sarah was preserved and studied. A reminder that some species should never be underestimated. A warning that violence, properly focused, could build empires rather than destroy them. Humanity had announced itself to the galaxy, and the galaxy would never be the same again.